to get this method rolling, we will need these numbers. I don't yet have them because it's huge work, but it's not as impossible as you may think. I will show you the ace up my sleeve. Or in that case, the ace in my pocket. cdp.net. Okay, this is the homepage of the Carbon Disclosure Project. And what they do is they publish the responses of the big brands to their questions regarding CO2 emission data. And why are these companies responding in the first place? Under benefits of disclosure, we see two important keywords. First is money, and the second is reputation. So this is just a great demonstration of the power in consumption. Now CDP does two important things with these responses. The first one, they publish the A list, which is a list of companies that have received the best rating from CDP. And you might know some of these. Now scrolling down, we see how relevant CDP has become. Disclosing companies represent over 50% of global market capitalization. This corresponds to over 9,000 of the big companies, the big brands. This already sounds really promising, but the second thing they are doing with the data is truly amazing. They are publishing the responses of all the companies. So having created an account, you can search through the responses by entering an arbitrary, not relevant brand name here, and then looking at the answered questionnaire from 2020, we get access to the 100 plus answered questions of this company. And what I'm interested for my method is just in two questions. The first one is question 6.3, where they are asked how many scope 2 emissions they have had in the reporting year, so in 2020 in this case. Now, to understand what scope 2 emissions are, we take it from the institution that came up with this classification, the Greenhouse Gas Protocol, and under calculation tools in the FAQ, we find a quick summary of the three scopes. And scope 2 emission is defined as the indirect emissions from the consumption of purchased electricity, heat or steam. So this is extremely close to the unit we're interested in our numerator. We're back at the questionnaire, and having found our numerator, we're interested in the denominator, which is the total revenue. And we find this under question 6.10. For this brand, this is the amount of total revenue in their chosen currency. Et voila! Now you divide question 6.3 through by question 6.10 or by this number, and you have a very close approximation to the number I want to generate for all the big brands out there. Yes, we need the data month-wise, and we need it a little different. But with help that I am also looking for, by the way, we might actually be able to accomplish this. In the last 4 months, where I've been working minimum of 1 hour per day on this project, I learned a lot about the status quo of global warming, how many people and institutions are already fighting, and that there exist great ideas. The reason why I wanted to get in the game myself is because I think that there is one important aspect missing. It's to involve the average person. And this is why I constructed my method, such that the impact you're having with it is so much bigger than the work you have to do for it. We use the big brands and consumption as the amplifier of our work. If I could not convince you up to this point, or if you have moral doubts, then I thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate it. However, if you want to make this thing reality, then we need to get it to the average person out there. I need you to increase numbers that people care about. And you know what comes next. Follow my Twitter page. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Join the subreddit. Follow my method on Instagram. Or even fund my method on gofundme.com. The more numbers you increase, the more the average person is impressed. Let's stop complaining about climate change and start counteracting it. I am Tobias Hochreiter, and this was the introduction of my world method.